Hello, my name is Fletcher, and along with my partner Hyseu, we'd like to introduce our proposal for the Brisbane Living Laboratory. In this project, we've designed a residential tower for a downsizing community. We aim to design a community that could bring the social aspects of suburban living into a highly dense city setting. Through this, our ambition was to create an internalized streetscape to the residential floors and provide open and green spaces to the ground to activate our landlocked site. The downsizing community are typically older residents who are choosing to move into apartment living. They're typically looking for spaces that require less maintenance, a greater social connection, and offer more opportunities for leisure activities. Looking now at our party diagrams, we began by exploring the nature of our central block and finding opportunity to create public connection to the internal streetscape through both social and garden spaces. The internal laneway links up both major access points to our site and also provides another layer of security to residents. By stepping the podium back on the external face, it creates better ventilation in the laneway and in turn up through the residential floors. Furthermore, it acts as a social space that connects with the rest of the precinct. Finally, on the upper floors, the internal social circulation creates a visual street feel to the laneway space and increases neighbourhood culture. The development of this party resulted in an architectural strategy that focused around the separation of podium and tower. The podium acting as a cavern layer constructed with heavy materials and an internal chasm on the ground floor that begins to open up to the public face. And the tower that acts as a canopy layer constructed of much lighter materials and a tree-like theme with a greenery climbing an internal trunk system.
We have actually followed all our designs according to the 9 key tenets of Q design. We have taken advantage of the local climate to maximize natural light and ventilation. We have inherited the significance of the traditional Queenslanders into the building design. We've provided spaces for vegetation and shelter and prioritized residents and pedestrians and thought through community values throughout the design.
Now onto the master plan. Our site is located in South Brisbane on Montague Road and Boundary Street. The master plan site is within a precinct that's going through a lot of future developments and is currently a mix between high-rise, multi-residential and industrial zones. However, there is a high chance that several taller buildings will be started to construct very soon. Due to our individual site being located in the centre of the proposed master plan, we're faced with many design challenges, especially the balance between public activation and privacy for the residents. We have 2 major access points from our site, both from Oxford Street and Boundary Street, with vehicle loading available from Boundary Street. Our proposal offers 54 dwellings over 8 floors with 3 podium floors below. This has achieved our aim of between 250 and 300 for the dwelling density and is on the upper side of this. As for our address and activation to the ground plane, our 2 major entries both look into this internal laneway and aim to activate the master planned circulation spaces, especially the internal streetscape on the northwestern facade. Our communal space design on the residential floors and the upper podium levels include many of these aspects we mentioned in Q design, looking at the very green trunk and the lightweight materials, while keeping this kind of internal circulation very much that of a suburban street. Now onto our plans. On our ground floor, our 2 major entry points are from Boundary Street and Oxford Street for this internal laneway. The cafe operates as a precinct amenity and therefore is situated on the northern point, providing sitting areas out on the circulation threshold, as well as providing a takeaway window into the laneway. This is also serviced by the Kindy, which has a secure entry from the laneway with a raised platform on the outdoor space. Cutouts on this external edge offer streetscape points for the kids to interact with, but still having the security of being raised. The loading zone, which also has a 10-minute parking zone, is an optimal space for the kindergarten drop-off, which has an interaction with the coffee shop, as well as a security from the external areas. The foyer opens out to a visual cue from both entry points. Our core placement is in the centre for more privacy for the residents, and the foyer also includes an area for postbox and information walls, and connects into a town hall, which again opens out into this laneway. There is also a rear private alleyway, which is set back to the setback thresholds, but can be accessed for all waste access, as well as an opportunity for residents to access bike storage. Now onto the basement. As we have kept the proposed site's layout for the basement floors, as our core drops just within the corner of this existing layout. It also gives an opportunity for a bit of space for any water tanks and other services to go. Now onto the podium. Private resident facilities are situated on the streetscape side. This includes a gym, a yoga space, a health room, and a wine cellar. The services back of house is on the south side, which the shape acts as an environmental shade over the ground floor foyer entry. This also includes 2 of our co-living rooms, and the rooms are staggered to increase light for the innermost room. Now onto the next level up. We have another our other 4 co-living rooms on this level, all rear accessed. On the podium side, we have rooms for event spaces. We have an event space on either side, which can be more private, booked out areas for events for the residents, while the middle section is a common space that is provided for, especially for all residents, but in particular the co-living residents, to give them a breakout space from their smaller apartment types. Now going up to the residential floors. On the residential floors, we have 8 floors of this typical plan, which contains 4 2-bedroom apartments, a 1-bedroom apartment, and a high care apartment. I'll take this opportunity to explain the difference between all of these apartments. The co-living apartment is a cheaper option, which they're getting a small room at a very good price. They're intended to be able to help the other residents. The high care rooms are more of a temporary stay situation, and there's the highest chance that they will be empty at any one time. 2 bedrooms are typically for a couple downsizing, with the 2nd bedroom as an opportunity to be used for another room, or if any special equipment is needed. Our 2 bedrooms have been given the optimal northwestern facing and northern facing edges to increase the sunlight that they get in, as well as giving them the best views out. The 1 bedroom has been angled just to get sunlight in on the northern edge especially, but as it is a 1 bedroom, suffers probably one of not as good situation as the 2 bedrooms. And finally, the high care has been put at the rear, however does still get some sun from the west. There is a garbage chute in our core that runs down to the waste recovery room on the ground floor, and the area and the internal circulation is one of the major points from this plan. The internal circulation is meant to imitate that of a street situation with very social cues and visual instead of a typical single loaded or double loaded alleyway. We have this major coffee station slash entertainment spot near the lifts that can be used by residents. And this central gathering space acts as almost the trunk of this canopy level with planters surrounding it and climbing up all the floors. And now finally, quickly, just onto our roof. Our roof is back of house access only and just contains roof services with solar panels on the other roof and a shading system that protects the residents of the top floor in the summer months from direct sunlight. Now onto our apartment plans.
Going into the apartment plans, we have a high care facility apartment unit. So the laundry has been taken out to increase the floor space, but the caretakers can aid with their laundry, or there is an opportunity to have laundry stacked up in the area. The co-living single apartments, as they are cheaper to rent, they are smaller in size, but they follow key apartment planning strategies. And type 2 in the co-living single apartment is similar as type 1, but features a pop-out window as well. The one bedroom is long and rectangular in size, but it has significant spaces like the living and the bedroom on the northern end. So it has opportunities to have views as well as natural light and ventilation through the apartment unit. The 2 bedrooms, type 1, it is angled to allow natural sunlight to get into the high care apartments, which will be located behind this room here. So the balconies are located on the front, so it has opportunity to gain the streetscape views. And all the bedrooms are connected through a double sliding door as well with that one. And they follow all the LHA gold standards. This is type 2 in the bedroom 2 apartment planning. So type 2 and type is quite similar. So it also follows the LHA gold standards with a balcony on the streets to gain street views as well. Type 3 in the bedroom, the 2 bedroom apartment planning also follows the gold standard and also has a sliding door to connect the 2 bedrooms together. With the balcony also facing the street to gain views and also to gain natural light throughout the apartment unit.
Awesome. Now we'll quickly touch on the materiality. Our materiality on our ground floor is concrete in situ, which has that almost chasm-like feel to it. Whereas the upper floors are made of CLT. The CLT, of course, stores carbon, has very low embodied energy and is fast construction, but was primarily chosen to bring back this almost timber Queensland in the sky feel. And just to wrap it up now, we'd like to thank you for listening to our presentation and hope you enjoy the rest of the exhibition. Thank you.